Hey friend, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm GB, and if it's early 2026, I'm on the beginning of a journey of less but better. I've done some changes to my wardrobe, to my social media. We'll dive into all those things. This first video I'm making has to do with the Christmas present I got, which was 2 UndrDog Hemp t-shirts. This one has been worn and washed twice. And this one hasn't even been opened because I wanted to do a comparison for you guys with the details of washing and drying, which ended up being hanging. I washed it on cold with light colors. Everybody knows that. And then to make sure it wasn't too wrinkly, I threw it in the low tumble for about 5 minutes and then took it out. If you're thinking that's a little bit of extra work, you're right, but when you're doing less but better, you have less clothes to wash and you don't mind spending a couple extra minutes doing that. First initial thoughts about wearing the t-shirt is that it is so comfortable and it has a heaviness that I like. Like, it feels really grounding. I like the feel of the material. It is slightly porous in that I can see light through it, and yet it still feels really heavy, which just as I guess is a testament to the quality. A little bit of stretch, not a ton, but when I wear it, it feels very comfortable. My initial thoughts after taking it off on day one is, man, this is a collector of little linty type things. And I've got a Jack Russell Terrier who sheds a decent amount. So the lint brush is going to be present for this one. Will that change as the fibers change? I don't know. And maybe you do. I'd love to know if you know in the comments. So I've got this one. And now I'm just going to unfold this brand new t-shirt to see if I can do a little bit of a size comparison to see if it's lost any size or length, because that was a conversation on Reddit and different places. All right. Clean washed one on top of brand new one. And yeah, that's unless I'm putting this down wrong, it looks, yeah, like if we've got it lined up at the bottom, and this isn't picture perfect, but it looks like if I were to pull it more to one side than the other, that I've got about 1.5 inches on that side, and you can see the two logos not really lining up, even though it's overlapping. And then I've got about what we're going to call 1 inch on the top. Now for me, in form fittingness, it changed nothing. It felt just the same. It felt really good and comfortable and slimming and shoulder broadening and bicep enlarging, you know, all the things they promise in the marketing. So I didn't notice a big change. I would say if you knew that it was going to shrink 1.5 inches, if my math is right, that's a 3-inch shrink all over, which if you had bought it tight already, 3 inches shrinking in might be a little excessive. So keep that in mind. And also just keep in mind that was a 5-minute low dry and then a hang after that. I think if you blast dried this on high, it would be a much smaller shirt. But I can't tell because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ruin a good shirt. That being said, they are expensive shirts, coming in at anywhere from, I think, $33 to $38 a shirt, which for an indestructible shirt seems worth it. I would experiment if it was a $5 shirt, but not for this price point. I will treat it like gold and hope that my wife doesn't accidentally put it in a very hot dryer. And if it does, I'll come back and update you about that. Overall, love it. I'll show you how it fits in a moment. As a new YouTuber, this is going to be one of my first edits. So be right back with that shirt on. All right, fit check is comfortable. So this is a medium, and at the time of recording, I'm 5'9". Hopefully that never changes, and then 160-ish pounds. Little bit of an athletic build, little bit of a dad bod build. Got that combo. So I don't know how it makes me look to you, but I feel great when I wear it, and that's the most important thing for you. It did shrink a bit. It would have been a bit baggier and longer had I not washed it the way I did, or had it not shrunk at all. Quick thing is that it seems like they have amazing customer service and very good communication. So I've seen on Reddit that there were some concerns about shrinking, and then the owner or customer service said, hey, just try it anyway, wash it, and then send it back if it doesn't work. And that's amazing. That's a very strong brand reputation, like reinforcement for me, seeing that kind of accountability. So checking it off, heavy-ish weight, which I like. I can move very freely, which is important for me as a personal trainer. I do think it picks up lint a little bit more easily than 100% cotton, but that may be the newness of it. This is about a week old, and it does shrink, but that didn't bother me one bit. It felt just right. And it seems like a very resilient, awesome t-shirt. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll be coming in at the 6-month mark and 1 year mark to let you know how this is holding up. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for joining me, friend.